So first of all, thank you everyone for joining in. You all took out time on a Sunday evening. It really means a lot for us. So first of all, happy International Women's Day to all of you. Um, we believe in gender equality, but we also believe in that the fact that women are the real architect of the society. They build not only themselves but the people around them and the whole community. So women experience unique healthcare challenges by building them and the community, and often tend to ignore their own health. So, and these women, we as women are more likely to deal with health related stressors more than men. So to understand all the myths and misconceptions behind women health and how we can cope up with these, all the health related issues, how can we improve our health, we will understand all these things from Maitreyi, which is our speaker. So we are very happy to have you, Maitreyi. And before I introduce her, I would quickly want to introduce what 100 Ascent is and who are the organizers of this session. So we are a group of fitness enthusiastic people who like to share knowledge, work out together, and become fit together. We have a common goal of fitness. So we often conduct these sessions. These are mostly bi-weekly or weekly, where we invite guests like Maitreyi and other such guests to speak on certain fitness, health, and yoga, other such varied topics. So you all can check our previous sessions on YouTube, or you can join our community to keep updated about to keep yourself updated about the upcoming sessions. So our Ascenders community is very active, where people share their statistics, whatever achievements they have done. And we also have 100 Ascent application. You can download that from iOS store or Play Store. I will also share the link in the chat section. This app basically is all about completing virtual challenges. Once you complete the virtual challenge, you receive various hampers, medals, and other hampers, other gifts like postcards. So after coming in the leaderboard positions, you get various prizes, and these are on the monthly basis. So you can check our app. The link is in the chat section. So this was about our app and 100 Ascent community. Moving on to our speaker, firstly, very thank you, Maitreyi, for agreeing. And to introduce, Maitreyi is a very passionate nutritionist and exercise physiologist who has completed her master's in nutrition and exercise physiology from Columbia University. She's also a fitness instructor. And to add to her achievements, she has completed one of the most difficult Ironman triathlons, and not only once, but twice. She has even completed 6 marathons till date around the globe, including Miami, Brooklyn, Mumbai, Pune, and other places. So we are very happy and we are very honored to have you as our guest. So yes, over to you, Maitreyi.
What can be achieved? What can we achieve over the long term? So being healthy is more than just the size of your clothes. It's more than the weight that is on the scale. It's more than how much time you ran a 10K, how many marathons you did. It's about the behaviors that you implement every day, keeping yourself in mind and implementing those behaviors regardless of the situations. Be it on a holiday, be it doing an all-nighter in college, be it in a situation where exercise and nutritional choices may not be available to you as easily as they would had you been at home. It is in those situations when you can say yes to some things and no to some other things, instead of giving in to the situation, because your health is a priority. It is also being able to reach out to the top shelf without getting a catch in your back. It is able to run for the metro without getting out of breath. It is able to carry your own grocery bags without having a brother or your dad or someone take it for you. So all of that is fitness to me. We are also approaching the International Women's Day, just like Harshita said, and the theme is gender equality. While it definitely plays a very important role in the workplace, it is very important, also in the health sector, because girls and boys, all your actions are influencing all those around you, and you probably just don't realize it. But every step taken by you in the direction of a healthy life, or in direction of health, consistently is going to have an impact, and it may influence your younger sibling, it may influence your parents, it may influence your friends, your neighbors. So please don't shy away from being healthy. I'm going to discuss with Harshita in the question and answer round some common concerns about student life, because I think that majority people here are in professional courses and are probably recently going through the shift of from going online at home to now full-fledged offline at a school or hostels or their professional colleges. So the common concerns, which were earlier lockdown related, but now they're going to be college canteen and no time for exercise and nutrition related. That is, we're going to be discussing obesity. We're going to be discussing the conditions that come with obesity, like insulin resistance. A lot of girls nowadays are getting diagnosed with something called as PCOS or PCOD. So what exactly is it? Is it really as bad as the media makes it sound? What can you do about it? We're also going to be talking about a condition called as sarcopenia. So sarcopenia is age-related muscle loss, which happens because of lack of strength training, because of lack of time taken out for physical activity, and how the age of sarcopenia is coming closer and closer to a younger age. While initially the condition was in people aged over 60, it's now coming closer to 30. And largely our stressful lives, our late nights, our sedentary jobs, and the inability to make the right food related decisions is responsible for this. We're also going to be talking about all the diets that are out there, and nowadays it's all about, are you doing keto diet, or are you doing intermittent fasting? So when you do a diet right now, it's an all or nothing mentality. Either you completely immerse yourself into a keto, intermittent, time restricted feeding sort of a lifestyle, or you go completely the other way, where you take a complete diet break, you give in to all temptations, no exercise, you go completely the other end of the spectrum. But is this yo-yo really the most efficient way to maintain your health? Is this really the best way for your bone mineral density? Is this the best thing for your metabolic rate? That's what I hope to discuss today. We're also going to be talking about when you start weight training in the gym, the very common question I get is, what supplements should I take? And this is both girls and boys. And do I need to take creatine, and do I need to take glutamine, and do I need to take protein supplements? Is it really that important? It's like it's almost like just learning how to drive and then going and trying your luck on the F1 track, right? Sometimes exercise and nutrition, which is in your hands, is going to take you a longer way than some artificial supplements, and they are also not sustainable in the long term. So I hope to address that. We're also going to be talking about food fads that are very prominent. There is, I think, gluten is more the slang word nowadays. People just say, they are off wheat and they are not going to be eating rotis, without realizing that rotis are a great source of carbohydrate and B vitamins. And unless you have an autoimmune condition called as celiac, you really don't need to stop eating the roti. It's most certainly not the rotis that's causing you to gain weight. It's how many rotis and what you're eating it with. That is the real concern. I'm also going to be addressing how exercise, just like you brush your teeth, needs to be a part of your everyday, and how exercise doesn't mean getting up, wearing fancy gym clothes, going to the gym, and spending all that travel time and coming back and spending like 2 or 3 hours of a busy work day that you may not have, and how it could just be something that you enjoy, that you can do on a daily basis in the comfort of your own house. So Harshita, let's start the question and answers so that we can address all these questions. Are you there?
Sure. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm First, we can take a couple of questions which we have received from Google Forms and our Instagram responses. So,
Okay.
Harshal, do you have any questions? Okay, I'll go ahead with first one.
Sure.
So, here's a question from Vaishnavi. She asks, I have heard that using sanitary napkins can cause severe diseases like cancer, infertility, PCOD, etc. Is it true? And is there any alternative for sanitary napkins which is more healthier and eco-friendly?
Yeah, so I'm a nutritionist, so this question may not be directly related to my line of work, but I'm going to answer it nevertheless. Sanitary napkins are a necessity, with our menstrual health. Yes, there are cups and there are tampons which you can use, but let me tell you one thing, that cancer, anything can cause cancer. It doesn't have to be, it can be sitting, it can be staring at the computer screen, it can be your genes, it can be the food you eat, it can be the carbon monoxide you inhale when you drive your two-wheelers. Literally anything can cause cancer. So what is in our hands is to control the controllables. You must eat a diet which is high in fruits and vegetables, because they contain antioxidants which may to some extent protect us from from the cancer cells from multiplying. We need to maintain low to moderate levels of body fat, because obesity definitely increases the risk of cancer. We need to be exercising regularly, because again, a healthy life is, it's in our control. That being said, if you have a specific cancer like breast cancer, or if there is a male in your family, and somebody in the first bloodline has something called prostate cancer, you must get your you must get your tests done. Please visit your oncologist or oncosurgeon and do the required blood tests every year to be on the safer side. Sanitary napkins do not directly cause any of the things that you mentioned, and there are definitely, I think cups are a eco-friendly way to go about it. Some of us may disagree with the use of cups, some of us agree. It's all about what you feel. And also sanitary napkins nowadays, there are eco-friendly natural pads that are available in the market, so feel free to look those up.
Right. I
Next
hope
question.
that answers your question. Yes, Harshal, you can take this up.
Yeah. So the next question is something which we were actually planning to cover up. So Bhakti asked if we should take supplements like multivitamins or not, and if yes, what will you suggest? In this, we can also cover what we were planning to cover, like keratin, protein, and all the supplements.
No, those are different topics. So multivitamin is different than keratin and all of those things. So we'll do those separately.
Yeah.
Because multivitamin is something that I think
sure.
everybody needs to take, regardless of whether you are a bodybuilder, regardless of whether you're being under max. Yes, definitely. Please take a multivitamin. Consult your general physician or whoever your first line of medical touches, and definitely take one multivitamin every day. I'll tell you why. Because all of us are not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and definitely not enough salads. So when we cook our sabzis, a lot of the water soluble vitamins are lost into the atmosphere, right? So that is what your multivitamin is going to contain. The advantage of multivitamins is that a lot of the vitamins are water soluble, so even if there is something like an excess, you will pee it out, right? All of y'all and everybody, all of us must look at the fat soluble vitamins, which are vitamin A, D, E, and K. Out of those, A, E will be covered in the multivitamin tablet, but and K also. But vitamin D is something that needs to be assessed. So please do a blood check. And according to your levels, you must supplement, because that is very, very important, in terms of maintaining our bone mineral density, in terms of maintaining our mental health, in terms of maintaining the health of our skeletal system. And that is something that we are not getting a lot of, because Indians are very afraid of tanning, and we cover ourselves from head to toe when we step out in the sun, when the guidelines suggest, long limb exposure between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. for at least 15 minutes. So definitely get your vitamin D levels checked. Vitamin B12 is another vitamin which is largely available in non-vegetarian food sources. So if you are a vegetarian or a vegan, please get those checked as well. They're very, very important for the health of your neurosystem, because they're responsible for the transition of nerve impulses between the muscles and the brain and so forth. that's the answer.
Okay. The next question we have is from Prachi. She asked, what is the role of nutrition for women
Yeah.
above 50, and what are the major changes which needs to go in the diet after this age?
That's a great question, and I'm assuming you're referring to the menopause that happens roughly around that area, around that age. In terms of nutrition, the diet needs to be a little bit lower in terms of fat, because if the woman has already undergone menopause, estrogen production is going to stop. So estrogen, the body is going to depend on fat cells to produce estrogen because it's a steroid hormone. So a low fat, moderate carbohydrate, high protein diet for sure. This is what I would recommend. And moderate carbohydrate, 50 to 60% should come from complex carbohydrates like your roti, your rice, your bhakris and all of that. And the rest needs to be, like I said before, we need our immune system to be on top condition in all times. I'm also assuming that this lady is healthy and is exercising well, and so she also needs to be taking close to 1 gram protein per kg body weight. This as far as possible should be high biological value protein, which is animal protein, which is all your dairy, poultry, fish, and staying a little bit far away from the protein which is higher in fat, like red meat or pork. Vegetarian proteins are also great, provided they're eaten in combination. So tofu is a complete high biological protein, which is excellent. The other good proteins in the vegetarian world are, they come from all the food sources. So nuts have protein, lentils and beans have protein, roti has protein, rice has protein. So it is important to not eliminate any food from your diet and eat a variety of these foods through the day. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, that answers the questions. Thank you. Harshita, you can go next.
So this is a question from our end. I want to know, during pregnancy, what all health measures should one take?
Well, definitely supplement folic acid. If your hemoglobin level is below 11, then your OBGYN will start you on hemoglobin pills. You will be taking a calcium and a multivitamin supplement. Those are the supplements. With regards to health measures, this is, let's talk about the exercise first. This is not a time for women to start being healthy and, start exercising, because I get a lot of that. Like, I'm feeling healthy, I'm pregnant, can I start walking? Have you been walking regularly? No. Then why start walking? Just because I'm pregnant? Bad idea. Please continue. So the physical activity guidelines don't really change, even if you're pregnant, you still have to do 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week. But you need to do the activity you're comfortable with. If you've been walking before your pregnancy, must continue after your pregnancy. Of course, unless you have something like, a chronic backache or morning sickness, or you have been advised bed rest, which then you must follow your OBGYN's instructions. This is not a time to start doing some inverted yoga poses if you're not used to it. This is not a time to do clean jerk snatch, not a time to run 10Ks if you're not used to it. If you are a weightlifter and if you are a runner and if that's something that just comes naturally to you, please go ahead at a lower intensity. Movements, lying down movements which put a lot of pressure on your abdomen, like chest press, crunches, reverse crunches, should be avoided. We encourage squats, we encourage deadlifts, right? We encourage all the upper body movements, preferably with resistance bands like bicep curls, lateral raises, tricep kickback, which don't cause a lot of core contraction and which can be done seated. Okay. Then good mornings for the lower back are good, because a lot of times women have lower back issues. With regards to food, you do not need to eat for two. So depending on your weight before pregnancy or when you just get pregnant, the guidelines for weight gain differ. They're usually somewhere between 10 to 12 kgs or 7 to 10 kgs if you are normal weight, right? So try your best to not exceed that, because if you gain something like 20 or 25 kgs, there is a high chance of getting gestational diabetes during pregnancy, and there is also a high chance of getting hypertension during pregnancy, which can then really complicate the situation. So please eat your existing balanced diet, mainly home cooked, avoid alcohol, avoid smoking, avoid late nights. Use this time to really nourish your body. And because that is going to be the best for your child and best for you. You do not need, I repeat, you do not need to be eating sweets. You do not need to be eating anything which is high calorie, when you look at that food and it feels unnatural, don't eat it. It is unnatural. Your gut, and when I say gut, I talk about the small intestine, because that's where the carbohydrate absorption happens. It'll tell you, it'll say, no, I don't want to eat this. Don't let anybody force you into eating it, please, because then, then we struggle later with the 20 kg weight gain. Hope that answers the question.
Right, yes. So this was during the pregnancy and pre-pregnancy. Now I want to know post-pregnancy, like women tend to gain weight post-pregnancy and often they are conscious. So what would you say to that?
Yeah. So post-pregnancy, and I'm assuming the lady is lactating, she's going to feel very hungry. Still, the guidelines are only, they say 300 to 400 calories more. Not, again, you don't have to be, remember that your body is going to produce milk whether you eat or not. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to eat more. You don't have to drink milk or eat the galactogogues, which are rich in ghee, which are rich in sugar, which are rich in milk, which is again unnatural, just so that you produce more milk. That your body and your mammary glands are going to do regardless. So when you're lactating, you do tend to lose a little weight, but you also feel very hungry. So then you must include moderate, complex carbohydrate rich snacks. Like you can always have a vegetable sandwich or poha or upma with dahi, like a paneer roll. Have something which is going to give you good energy, but it's not junk, right? Take away the biscuits, take away the laddus. They really don't do much for you. You're a good experienced personal trainer to take you through a guided, supervised exercise plan, so that your pregnancy exercise, fitness levels. With food, it's all about not overthinking. It's about eating what you've always been eating. It's about paying conscious attention to protein, paying conscious attention to the good fat, so a lot of nuts and seeds, and not eating things which even otherwise you would not eat.
Yes, it answers. We'll take one question from the chat, and then Harshal, you can go ahead. So we have a question from Vaishnavi. She asks, is Herbalife nutrition good if we are losing our weight?
So I'm not really going to take any names, but if there is any nutrition which involves supplementing a meal, okay, it's not sustainable, because you need all the nutrients for your, very often we only think in terms of fat and muscle, but we forget that we have a skeleton under us which needs a lot of nourishing. Okay, and if you are supplementing a meal with a shake, with a low calorie shake, your foundation, that is the roots of your tree, which are the skeletal system, are not getting anything. So they are going to start giving way, and very soon, before you know it, you will start having aches and pains in areas that you don't know why that's happening. And then your bone mineral density may suddenly drop, and you may become osteopenic and then graduate to osteoporosis, and one twist here and there will lead to a fracture. So please, I urge everybody who wants to lose weight to think beyond their weight for some time and think about their health, and move away from quick fixes, because quick fixes are only quick disasters in the short term, and then a lot of damage control needs to be done. Anything, and I think we're going to address that, anything with health is not quick. You didn't gain weight quickly. Why would you want to lose weight quickly? It just doesn't happen. It's going to take time, and it's going to take patience. With meal replacement, you will be on top of your game for the first week, and then you will dwindle, because you're just not getting enough nutrition. So your brain is going to keep thinking about food all the time, and I don't think that is a healthy way to live. Good question though.
Yes. Harshil, do you have one?
Yep. So, yes, this is slightly different question from what we addressed till now. Anushka asked, what does it take to complete marathon successfully? And here, I think we'd love to know your journey about the triathlons from the
Yeah, I
beginning,
think
how it started and
that's a
what
great
happened.
question. I love talking about marathons. Okay, so um, with with any goal, be it a marathon, be it a 10K, be it a 5K, it's all about the time you spent in the sport. I started running way back in maybe 2009 and ran a lot. And my first full marathon in Miami was only in 2016. So you see, so many years I've been running, and I ran for a very long time without Garmin, just really enjoying the runs. My first Garmin that I bought when I was studying in Miami, was doing my undergrad in nutrition and dietetics, was only because I didn't know the distance. Only to keep a track of the miles, I had got my first Garmin Forerunner. So what I'm trying to tell you is enjoy the activity first. Spend a lot of time. Get to know yourself in the runs. Every run is different, and running is a journey. It's first of all, it's very difficult, okay, because you are exerting, you are putting 10 times your body weight on your leg with every stride. So when you start off, there are going to be aches and pains. There are going to be discomforts. There's going to be a shoe change. There's going to be an attire change. There's going to be, what do I eat? Oh, I feel better fasted. Oh, but sometimes I feel better if I eat this. Once you figure out all that, then you think of running towards a goal. Think of running towards a 5K. Think of running towards a 7K, and enjoy that. Do many 5Ks. Do many 10Ks. Do many half marathons. Run for the joy of it. And when you feel like, okay, there will be a point where your body will just say, okay, let's just now think about a little bit larger goal in terms of distance. Then you sign up for a full marathon. And when you do that, if this is your first full marathon, I urge you, stay away from time and pace. Just focus on completing the distance happily. What you must focus on is the nutrition and the hydration that takes you through a marathon, because that is the most important. How much time you run it in and what is your pace is not important. You have your whole life to qualify for the Boston Marathon. Okay. But there is really no point in dragging yourself to the finish line dehydrated, cramping. You want to finish every run happily, thinking that, oh, wow, my run is over. I can actually do 2 kilometers more. That to me is a successful marathon, run, be it a half marathon, be it an ultra marathon, be it a full marathon. So what it takes to do a full marathon, again, to answer your question, is consistency with running. You should like running. You should be willing to do the paraphernalia. Remember, running is easy, but the paraphernalia is the difficult part. What to eat before? What do you eat during? What do you eat after? Are your muscles, are your joints strong enough to take the impact of a 42.2 kilometer run? Which means that you must also engage in strength training. So all of that will take you through a successful first full marathon. Yes, I have answered the question.
Yes. Would you recommend some gears for these marathons, or is it fine to start with anything and then move on to better gears?
In terms of shoes?
Any
What are you
gears,
talking?
clothes,
Yeah, so
how
there's
should one
so
wear?
many things. So again, so start, before. Nowadays what's happening is, the moment somebody wants to run, somebody else will tell them, "Arey, tum Garmin kharid lo, buy these 20,000 shoes and buy this and that." Please just start with whatever you have. And like I said, see, and then reward yourself with a gadget. The one thing I would strongly say is shoes. Okay, if you are going to be running longer distances, then remember that your foot expands, because there is blood pooling, right? The blood goes towards our lower extremities. So your running shoe size is going to be half to one size bigger than your normal shoe size. So please go to a nice running store where they have a good person in charge of selling shoes, who can explain it to you, who can take your shoe size and then recommend good shoe for you, and brands surprise us. So please just go by the feel, go by the comfort. Remember, this is your journey. This is not for you to show which shoe you have and then, be suffering internally. I think if you are going to invest in something at the start of your run journey, it should be a good, comfortable shoe. Then later on, you'll realize that, oh my God, if I wear this shorts, I'm chafing in my inner thighs, or if I wear this t-shirt, my underarm is chafing against my arm here. And then accordingly, either you apply Vaseline or you change your gear and all of that. But shoes is, and running is actually free. So you can even run barefoot. Barefoot running is a whole completely different game. But that's a lot of science behind it. So I don't recommend new runners to just suddenly start running barefoot. You gradually move towards that. So if this is your shoe thickness now, you go moderate, then you go almost like no sole, and then you go towards something called as Vibrams, which are absolutely very, very close to barefoot running, which are basically 5 fingers. But yes, so that way.
Yes, very interesting. And these gears and all serve as a motivator sometime. So either you buy and you go ahead. So it is like a motivating factor. So we'll go ahead with one more chat question. Yes, go ahead, please.
No, I said motivation initially should come from the runs only. And then when, when running happens, when you can run in your sleep also, and sometimes you just don't want to wake up, then probably a gadget will motivate you.
Yeah, makes sense. So we have a question from Sanika. She asks, what changes can be made in diet if we suddenly have lots of hair loss?
You need to increase your protein and vegetable intake, because hair is an exoskeleton made of protein, and reduce your stress levels. So stress doesn't have to necessarily mean, stress at work. It can mean staying up late to watch TV, or staying up late at school or to do homework, not eating properly, eating only a couple of meals a day and skipping meals, not drinking enough electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium imbalance. Definitely protein, and you don't have to supplement all the time. Like I said, you just have to include good quality protein at every meal and reduce your stress levels. In that, you maintain a consistent schedule, consistent sleep schedule, consistent food schedule. And remember that hair loss can be hereditary, it can be seasonal. You also, if you have hair loss which is giving you, leaving you like a few bald patches, and you want to get your hormone levels checked, and your thyroid levels checked, are you PCOS, are you hypothyroid, and consult the appropriate medical practitioner. Yes.
Right. So since you mentioned PCOS and PCOD, if someone has PCOD or if someone is detected with those, so what are the health measures should one take?
So with PCOS, it's a syndrome. So there are many things that could be happening to people. One thing could be happening to you, something else could be happening to me, right? It's a spectrum. Some people have hair on their face, it's called hirsutism. Some suffer hair loss, some have irregular periods, some have higher levels of irregular periods. Some people have when they get their blood levels done, they have higher levels of testosterone, and which are what are called as the male sex hormones. Sometimes they're advised to do their sonographies, and they find small cysts on their ovaries, which is why it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is a condition. It can be hereditary and it can be lifestyle oriented, or it can be both. Okay, obviously, if you have the history, if your mom has been PCOS, then you always have to be careful. I always tell all my PCOS girls that they're handpicked by God to be healthy. Because the moment they stop exercising or they stop eating healthy, their periods are going to go irregular. So, it's a blessing, girls. It's not a curse. Trust me. You have to be healthy. And you have to exercise. And the advantage that PCOS girls have is that they're stronger. They will naturally take towards lifting or, running or some physical movement. And that is related to lower levels of insulin. And PCOS has something called as is associated with insulin resistance. So this also makes these girls susceptible to type 2 diabetes. So exercise is going to reduce the levels of insulin in your body. For a given amount of food, the insulin that will be released will be lower than what it is if you are not exercising. So definitely exercise. Your diet needs to be high in fiber, because and little bit, again, say for the same insulin reason, a cup of lentils and beans is going to give you more fiber and lower net carbohydrate absorption than a cup of rice. That is not to say that don't eat rice, but just be mindful. If you're eating only rice, then please have, 1 cup of rice and maybe a cup and a half of lentils and beans like matki, masoor, all of that, along with salad, along with good quality protein, because high protein will increase the feeling of fullness. You can go through a bucket of rice, but you can't go through a bucket of paneer, because protein has something called as a high satiety value. Feeling of fullness with protein is faster and is higher. So with PCOS, we always want to make sure that they're eating high fiber, high protein, so that they're full. Fiber and protein keep you full. They are eating foods which are higher in the good fat. So nuts, seeds, flax seeds, coconut, not coconut oil, just coconut, because that has fiber, and exercising every single day. So that are the health measures to be taken for girls with PCOS.
Yes, I hope this answers. All right. So since we all have a busy schedule right now and we are in our hectic lives, so what would you recommend if someone has, let's say, improper sleeping cycle? So either they are tend to do shifts, they have late working hours. So
Right.
how do you cope up with that?
Depends on what the goal is. It depends on what their health goal is. But if you have night shifts, they're going to be, the chances of insulin resistance are high, because our body doesn't really need carbohydrates at night. At that time, your brain just needs carbohydrates to stay awake. And then the circadian rhythm gets disturbed. And on top of that, if they're eating a very heavy meal in the middle of the night, it will definitely make them feel good mentally, and it will keep them up. But in the long term, it may not be the best for their bodies. So they have to, hold themselves back from eating something which is very high in carbohydrate, which is processed, something like vada pav. It's not going to do anything to you, right? It's going to sit in your stomach no matter what time of the day you eat it, especially if you eat it at night. They're going to have to eat a meal which is high in protein, eggs, like a paneer sandwich, a protein shake with with a chapati or a lentil roll, something which is healthy, something which is not going to cause them any major health issues. It's not going to sit in their stomach. And sleep when they can. Definitely, though if you sleep later on in the day and if you don't sleep at night, it's not great, but you must complete your sleep cycle. Exercise will really help lower the stress levels in the body. So my suggestion would be, when they come back from their night shift, please go for a walk, do a small body weight exercise session at home. It can be just 15 minutes, eat your breakfast and then go to bed. And then even before you go for your night shift, do some physical activity and then go for your night shift.
Yes, that helps.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll go next. So my question was, who according to you should go for protein supplements if at all they need to take it? And for those who are trying to achieve a certain type of body, let's say weightlifters and all, can they practically achieve those protein levels by the natural means, like say lentils and all those things?
Yeah, so first of all, lentils is not protein. Lentils is largely carbohydrates. If you're a vegetarian, then you may get your protein when you combine lentils with rice. So then the net protein intake is higher. Who needs to supplement protein? It is people who are picky eaters, who don't like any of the the high biological value proteins, like they don't like eggs, they don't like chicken. Senior citizens who just don't eat enough. Okay, so definitely protein supplement for them, protein supplement for picky eaters, a protein supplement for those who are on a very, very low calorie diet plan. As a filler, you can have a protein supplement. simply for anyone who doesn't have time to plan their meals. Like I said, we need protein at every meal, but sometimes you just don't have enough time to plan your meals. So you can definitely consider, taking a couple of scoops of protein so that 50 grams of good quality protein is assured. Can you can you achieve your aesthetic goals without a protein supplement? Yes, you definitely can. With very, very clean eating, you can achieve um, a very aesthetic body. But remember, when we're talking about like a weak gut, or when we're talking about very low body fat percent, that is the key. Very low body fat percent, so that the muscle that you have built in your gains time shows up. And I don't really I don't get into that space, because then it is a whole bunch of, it's like a Pandora's box with what supplements they take and all of that.
Okay, yeah, that answers. Can you address a few diet types which we have for weight loss, like the buzzwords which we hear right now, right? Keto diet and all those things.
Yeah, so what do you want me to talk about that?
So,
You just
majorly,
want me to
are
talk
they
about them and whether they are
the focus?
yeah.
Like my question
Yeah.
was, are they actually that beneficial, or is it just a hype created by, say, social media?
Yeah, right. So see, this is a very good question, and I think it's very important. um every research that is out there on these diet trends shows that its adherence is very difficult after the first 2 weeks. You just tend to fall off the wagon, because these are deprivation diets, right? When you talk about a keto diet, 70% is fat, 20% is protein, and 10% is carbohydrate. Yes, it's going to help you drop the weight, but is it going to make you healthy? Do you have enough energy to go to the gym? No, because you're just not fueling your body with carbohydrates, which are which raise your blood sugar, and then they help you work out. Is it will you have enough energy through the day? Maybe not. You have to go through an intense keto flu to reach the ketosis stage. A lot of us fall off the bandwagon in that. Now, when it comes to intermittent fasting for weight loss, it depends on what type of a person you are. Do you love your food? Then why are you restricting your meals only to 8 hours, when in those 8 hours, then you're obsessively thinking about food, you're trying to cram whatever you can eat in the 8 hours so that you can do a 16-hour fast. It's not, again, going to be sustainable. So research has said that it doesn't matter what method you're using to lose weight, you just have to stick to it. See, in the long term, Walter Longo, who is the founder of keto diet, is doing great because he knows exactly how to do it, and he has based his lifestyle on it. If you could do that, then that's great. If you could do intermittent fasting forever and be healthy, that's great for you. But if you're going to do it just to get rid of a binge eating episode, a Friday night binge eating episode, and you're going to be intermittent on Saturday, that's just for your mental health gains. There are going to be no gains from that. You have to, it's like how a habit takes you 21 days, to form a habit, and then you're going to see your results. It's exactly like that. It's the diet plan that you see yourself doing consistently without thinking of, till when do I have to do this? The moment that thought comes in your head, then you know that this is not you. Because health is a lifestyle, and there is no immediate in a world of instant gratification, especially, it doesn't exist with health. You're going to feel great in your skinny jeans and your size 4 jeans, and then you're going to be dying to eat a binge meal. What is the use? I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, right. That answers the question. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, Shita, you can go next.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
we tend to observe aging in women earlier as compared to men. So why is it so? And are there any alternatives to makeup products, healthy alternatives, let's say?
Women just go through more life cycles, be it pregnancy, be it menopause, and if they don't take care of themselves, it can leave a lasting impact, and can cause aging quickly. And women are also overthinkers. They are also high anxiety driven personalities. That's just how we are. Sometimes we should learn from the men. And, all of that causes us to age faster. And there are no quick fixes. It's all in the long term. So recognize your lifestyle patterns right now and start supplementing with a whole, with 100% vegetable juice. Pay attention to your good fat. Pay attention to the protein. Pay attention to the exercise. Pay attention to how much water you're drinking. Make time for yourself. Recognize that you're a woman. You're going to think about everything 10 times more. You're going to use your gray cells more till they say bye-bye to you. So take steps in the right direction.
Right. So yeah, we'll take 2 more questions and then we'll wrap this session up. We have a question from Aparna in chat. She asks, I just wanted to know what exactly women need to do during their period time regarding running and cycling, workouts, and ST, or
Strength training.
And do you practice your workouts during those days?
Yes, in fact, I ran. I've done 2 of my full marathons when I was on my second day of my period, because that's the day just felt like then what to do. This is a good question, and I think there are a lot of myths surrounding the menstrual period. Everybody is different. Okay, the guidelines say that you should reduce the intensity, increase the duration. Basically, make your workout more aerobic. Ultimately, you want to relieve the pelvic congestion, and what a better way to do that than exercise. So when you move your legs, there is blood flow going towards your pelvic area, and that's going to relieve your cramps. It's going to release endorphins. You're going to feel good about yourself. Any bloated, gassy feeling that you're getting, any lower back pain, all of that is going to go away through exercise. That being said, some women really suffer during their menstrual cycle. They have debilitating pain, lower back ache. Sometimes their hemoglobin really drops. They have very heavy flow days. So on those days, please do not exercise. Please take care of your body. Get the adequate rest. Remember, you have 25 days in the month to run, cycle, swim, strength train, all of that. Me personally, I'm okay. I'm not afraid. My mother's a gynecologist, so thank God for that. So I have been prescribed my dose of painkillers, which I do take because I'm usually training for a goal, and I don't believe that I suffer that much that I should let go of it. And exercise always makes me feel better, regardless of what I'm going through. Thank
you. Right. She has said, beautifully answered. Thank you. I have seen you running
Welcome.
at DP Road. Keep inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any general tips for health, fitness, for people in their 20s? Let's say I am very young.
Yeah.
People have joined from all the age groups here. So
exactly.
Any one tip for every age group, what would you recommend?
Yeah. So firstly, exercise every day, every single day. It can be, doing Surya Namaskars in the house. It can be doing jump rope. There are 10-minute, 20-minute, 45-minute online workout videos available for free for everybody. Please, according to your fitness levels, do engage in those. There is no substitute for that. You have to be strong in terms of your bone mineral density. Don't exercise to lose weight, because that doesn't happen. It doesn't work like that. With regards to food, don't give in to your day and make food related decisions based on your day. Keep some basic profiles with you that you're going to carry your protein and your lentils, and then have a roti from the canteen. You're not going to have the tea with so much sugar in it. You're going to probably carry an electrolyte drink from home instead, or you're going to ask for fresh lime soda, salted, so that you get hydrated and you get vitamin C instead of getting dehydrated with a bunch of sugar. When you go out with friends, just because you have gone out, it doesn't mean that it has to be a full-on splurge binge meal. You can always make the right decisions. Restaurants have fantastic protein sources available to us. So please focus more on that. Portion control your carbohydrates. And this is for everybody, regardless of your weight goal. Make your health a priority. I know all of us are very busy in our professional courses, but believe me, you can be healthy and you can be a great person and a great performer in your professional course. Those two do not have to go parallel to each other, they go in sync.
Thank you so much. I like the how you yeah, I think there is some disturbance in Harshita's end. Yeah, I like the way how you answered this question in a way which the lifestyle which we have in our today's date, right? The small actionable changes which we can take. So thanks for that. There's one question in chat which I'll take.
Okay.
So Bhageshri asked how to handle the hormonal changes, especially after 40.
If you are having after 40, you're not going to go through many hormonal changes because you're still a little away from your menopause, but perimenopause could start. So you could get spotting, or if you are in your menopause, you could get something like hot flushes. So then you must see your OBGYN. You cannot manage your hormones. That is what your hormones are going to do. You just have to know how to react the best. If you're getting hot flushes, if you're then evening primrose oil will help you. Then taking flax seeds will definitely calm your nerves. Eating something which is high in protein will reduce your cravings, which you may get just because you've woken up in the middle of the night feeling agitated, irritated, and the next day you're craving something fried or something sugary. That's happening because you stayed up late at night. And again, to calm your nerves, have something higher in omega-3, higher in good quality protein, drink up a lot of water. Exercise is the most important, because after 40 or after 30, we're not going to be building any more bone mineral density. We just have to maintain it. So you need your skeletal system, and then your muscular system needs to be strong to take you through your later years of life.
Okay, yeah. I hope that answers the questions. Thank you so much. One just last question. It is a little different because this is from a perspective of an athlete. For those who are looking forward for marathons and triathlons, any motivation for them, or any tips or suggestions?
Just do it.
Nike. Yeah.
Don't overthink. Don't overthink it. You have to, like I said, you have to be ready to put yourself out there. Like, marathons, triathlons, these are activities which revolve around yourself. And you should be ready to do that. You should be ready to invest a certain amount of time. Mostly the training is not what it is, it's the paraphernalia. Be ready to eat, drink during the run, or a lot of food. Be ready to wake up early in the mornings just because you have a personal goal to achieve. Be ready to do the required rehab, the required strength training, and go out there and enjoy the activity. Don't do it because somebody else is doing it. Do it if you like to do it, and get into it, and then take each day as it comes. Every workout does not have to be hard. Every workout does not have to be all out. A lot of the workouts are zone 2 workouts, sub max workouts, and one session of the week will be a max session. Please get a good coach. I think that's the most important. And then get help from a strength conditioning coach and a sports nutritionist or a rehab specialist if you have any concerns regarding those. But go ahead and do it, enjoy it, have fun.
Yeah, thank you. So I think just do it actually sums it up then.
Okay, thank you everybody.
So here we come to the
evening.
end of the session. Yes. Thank you everyone for joining in. You all can shower love and all those great messages in Maitri's DMs. You can follow her on Instagram. We'll share the link in the chat section.
Yes.
So yes, thank you everyone. You all joined us on a Sunday evening. Means a lot. Thank you, Maitreyi, for agreeing for this. And
thank you so much.
Yes, we keep on doing these sessions every weekend. So you all can join, and you can check our app as well. We have launched it on Play Store and iOS Store.
Will do.
So yes, do join our WhatsApp group. And that's about it. Have a great day. Happy International Women's Day to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
Thank you so much.